Welcome to Zukkun Knows. Long before smartphones and social media, there was one name that defined the digital age: Microsoft. And behind it, a teenage nerd who dropped out of Harvard to build the operating system of the future. Bill Gates didn't just write code, he wrote the rules. 1. Early sparks. Bill Gates was born in 1955 in Seattle. He loved books, puzzles, and once he discovered it, computers. By 13, he was coding at his private school. By 17, he and his friend Paul Allen sold their first software. They called it Trafo Data, a traffic analysis tool. It didn't succeed commercially, but it proved something. Bill could build things the world wasn't ready for. 2. The Harvard detour. Gates enrolled at Harvard in 1973, but spent more time in the computer lab than the classroom. He read tech journals obsessively. Then came the breakthrough. In 1975, Altair 8800, the first hobbyist computer, was announced. Bill and Paul wrote software for it before they even had the machine. They used a language called BASIC, a beginner-friendly programming language that let people write commands easily. They called the company Microsoft. 3. Building Microsoft. From a small office in Albuquerque, they started licensing BASIC. But Gates had a bigger vision: sell not hardware, but the US software that powered everything. To clarify, hardware is the physical machine, like a computer or phone. Software is the invisible instructions, the code, that makes those machines actually work. He moved the company to Seattle and started hiring aggressively. His leadership style was intense. Smart people thrived. Others quit. The IBM deal in 1980, IBM asked Gates for an operating system, OS, the core software that manages all other software and hardware on a computer. He didn't have one, so he bought one, QDOS, and rebranded it MS-DOS. IBM used it for their PCs, but Gates kept the rights, so every clone PC also paid Microsoft. It was genius. 5. Windows World. In 1985, Microsoft released Windows, a graphical interface layered over MS-DOS. It wasn't great at first, but it improved fast. By the 1990s, Windows was everywhere. Schools, offices, homes. Microsoft became the default, and Gates became the richest man alive. 6. Internet Wars. In the late 90s, Microsoft was challenged by Netscape, a company that made one of the first popular web browsers. Gates responded with Internet Explorer, integrated directly into Windows. It crushed Netscape, but it triggered a major antitrust lawsuit. The US government accused Microsoft of abusing monopoly power. Gates testified with visible frustration, but the company survived. 7. Leaving the throne. In 2000, Gates stepped down as CEO and handed the reins to Steve Ballmer. He stayed on as chairman but slowly shifted focus. Microsoft remained powerful, but Gates's mind turned elsewhere: health, education, energy. 8. The Gates Foundation. Bill and Melinda Gates, his then wife and co-founder of the Gates Foundation, launched one of the largest private philanthropic organizations in history. They focused on eradicating malaria, improving vaccines, and funding education. Gates went from tech king to global problem solver. He invested in nuclear innovation, clean water systems, and even pandemic planning, years before COVID hit. 9. Criticism and complexity. Gates's legacy isn't all praise. Some criticize his monopolistic past. Others question his influence over global health policy. The divorce from Melinda and his ties to Jeffrey Epstein also raised eyebrows. But even critics admit Gates made a dent in the universe. 10. Legacy of logic. Bill Gates changed the world not with charisma, but with logic. He saw the future before others, and he built the tools to reach it. Whether you use a PC, a vaccine, or solar panels, you're touching something he set in motion. Thanks for watching Zukkun Knows. If this inspired you, hit subscribe. The next Gates might already be coding after school.